So as you can see, I'm still in the truck. We went to another grocery store, so I got another opportunity to blather on here, but I got snacks. So I'm going to be talking with my mouth full because I'm very hungry. So all of us that are politically active in Oregon, let me shut this window, understand the significance of the possibility of Christine Drazan winning. If you've been following, there's been a lot of stories, because I watch this stuff. There's been a lot of stories all over the internet focusing on important and close races in different states across the country. Conspicuously absent has been the Oregon governor's race. And I found that kind of odd. They've been within, 5 points of each other for a month now, maybe more. The Betsy Johnson thing is a distraction. Not sure who it's supposed to distract or what it's supposed to do. But in the national scene of things, I think it's a race worth paying attention to. We're a little biased. We live in Oregon. But being from all around the country, I look at it from this point of view. If I was somewhere else and interested in politics, I'd be watching this very closely. But in all the stories that I see from the alphabet news networks and various sources, nobody's talking about the Oregon gubernatorial race. And I found that kind of odd. But I have my suspicions why. And they're getting a little... they're proving themselves, my suspicions. And I'll explain to you why. As I alluded to in my other video, we all know that odd stuff, quote unquote, happens in elections here in Oregon. Even the left-leaning news outlets, local, because again, it's not getting national attention, even the local news outlets have been saying that Christine has been ahead in points. Anyone that follows political statistics knows that the late turnout usually favors the red team. There's a lot of, I assume because a lot of people like me want to go hand in their ballots. Democrats tend to be a little bit more activist-oriented mindset, so they want to vote early. They're all excited about the mail-in ballots and all that. And us conservative folks, we prefer to do it the traditional way. So late voter turnout usually favors the red team. So explain to me why all of a sudden the new polls are saying that Tina's in the lead when she was considerably trailing 48 hours ago. Because according to normal statistics, if Drazan had a lead 48 hours ago, it should grow, not diminish. And where else did we see this happen? Is smacks of the last presidential election. Keep an eye on that. It's something interesting. It's something that's been really bothering me and playing on my mind. And like I said, usually the mail-in voting, the voting early and all that usually favors the Democrats. So Tina should have had a lead 48 hours ago, according to statistics, according to normal trends. She should have had a lead, and it should have, or she should have had a lead, and it should have either diminished or flipped within the last, say, 24 hours. But it's doing opposite of that. And again, if anybody followed the 2020 elections, think Pennsylvania. I think we've got some of that going on here right now. I'm in my truck. I've got limited internet service right now, so I'm not doing all the research that I would normally do, but I'll be home in like an hour, and I'm going to be glued to my TV and my computer, and my phone's going to be running overtime, overheating, because this is what I do on election nights, suck in as much information as I possibly can. But it's just, it smells really bad. It really does. It unfortunately smells like Oregon politics. And keep an eye on that, because we need to be aware of what's happening. I can't offer a solution. When I did meet Tina Kotek, this was probably 3 weeks ago, maybe a little over 3 weeks ago. And again, because I'm honest, full disclosure, you guys know I don't beat around the bush with stuff like this. But, a friend of mine who's also a staunch liberal, he's actually been in liberal politics, he says, I'm really surprised to see you here. And I said, unfortunately, and I giggled. I said, if I get a chance to shake the hand of Oregon's next governor, I'm going to take the opportunity to do that. Because a few weeks ago, these polls hadn't come out, and it wasn't looking very positive for us. And again, following trends, Tina should be our next governor. But I wasn't saying that as a prediction. It was more tongue-in-cheek. And I still was hoping she won't be our next governor. But realistically and humorously, I said, I addressed her as our next governor. But the polls, which usually favor Democrats, I don't know about any of you guys, but I watch all these exit polls and all of these Gallup polls and all of these other poll things. I can honestly look you guys in, well, not in the eye, but if you're watching me, I'm watching and looking at you in the eye. I can honestly say I have never been a part of any poll in my entire life as far as politics go, and even TV ratings things and things of that sort. I don't know where they get these poll numbers, but I have a feeling that they're very skewed and leaning to the left, and they pull more left people than right people, whatever, yada yada, however they do it. I'm not going to go into the whole explanation because I don't actually know, but I've always felt they were skewed towards the left. Even the left-leaning polls were saying that Christine was in the lead. And that's, to me, it's like if CNN was saying good stuff about Trump, then you kind of got to believe it, because that's a tough pill for them to swallow and even harder for them to share with someone else. So when left-leaning polls point towards the red wave, but all of a sudden at the last minute, the red wave seems to be calming down, shenanigans. Shenanigans. It ain't right. It ain't real. And we need to pay attention to this, because there's going to come a point in time where we have some kind of opportunity to fight back. And like I said, I don't have the solutions. I don't have the answers right now, but we need to find them, or we're doomed, because it's just going to keep leaning farther and farther and farther left until there is no right anymore. Or, Biden made a thing the other day. He said, those protesters outside were saying that I'm socialist. What a bunch of idiots. First of all, if you're the president and you stand in front of the nation and call half the people that disagree with you in the nation idiots, that kind of makes you the idiot. They want to talk about Trump's bad tweets. Well, these Democrat politicians are literally talking shit about us in the open, in public. So, hypocrites. Anyways, yeah, I'm off subject. But the socialism thing, that's where I was going. I've made a comment to quite a few people lately that take a look at Democrat tactics. They're fear-mongering. They're using the press as propaganda. If you watch, there's some celebrity cases. I'm not a big Kanye West fan. I'm not into the NBA, so I'm not a Kyrie Irving, however you say his name, fan either. But I've been watching their stories very closely. I think Kanye West is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but I don't doubt what he's putting out right now, because he's putting out with proof. And the establishment, you know, they used to say the left was the anti-establishment party. No, the Democrats are the establishment. Anyways, the establishment is using maybe indoctrination. They're using some kind of social mind control. They're blackmailing people. They're using I don't know the proper term, but psycho drugs. There's psychosomatic is symptoms. Yeah, I don't know the word for it, but you know, mind altering substances. That's why they encourage legal drugs. That's why all of their militant fan base, i.e. Tifa, 90% of them are drugged out of their minds all the time. They encourage it. They pass laws. You know, Oregon made the law so that, decriminalizing hard drugs. All of that is in their favor because it makes them more vulnerable. You notice more drugs on the left side than you do on the right side. Not saying that there aren't drug addicts that are conservative. I'm sure there are, and there's drunks that are, you know, conservatives and whatever. But for the most part, the people that don't think straight tend to lean left because the left gives them what they want. Oh, you want to be in a mental stupor and make your decisions and get your view on life? Oh, we'll make that easy for you. Then you'll vote for us. And stupid people don't pay attention. And that's the point of this video. Socialism is brainwashing. Socialism is taking advantage of the instant gratification generation that have been indoctrinated to be that way, that have been indoctrinated to feel like they deserve everything, that they're entitled to everything. And then when the Democrats, i.e. socialists, give them the things that they're entitled to, then they're providing. Conservatives believe in providing for themselves and making their own way in life and being responsible enough that you provide opportunities for advancement. Conservatives aren't gimmies. That's what Democrats are. Democrats are all about gimme, and that's what socialism is. Joe Biden. Socialism. What you just called people idiots for describing is exactly what you are. And what's funny to me, and I made this comment on Twitter earlier, is that the left side, the people that cry about, oh, everybody's Nazis. Oh, let's break this down a little bit. What did the National Socialist Party of Germany offer to their people to get them in line and to accept socialism? Free healthcare, free education, a lack of a social class structure. Oh, does that sound familiar? Sounds kind of like what the left have been preaching to me. Everybody made a big deal about Joe Biden in his speech with the Nazi-esque backdrop. And I kind of giggled about it and said, oh, it's probably just a gaffe. It's probably just a mistake. No, it's probably not, because there are literally people that get paid to make sure that shit doesn't happen. There are people whose only job that they're failing at tremendously is to make Joe Biden look good and not bad, at the very least. And they're failing. So there had to have been a whole lot of people along the line messing that stage up before it got to that point. Now, I'm not one to doubt the ineptitude of the staff in the Democrat Party, but it's hard for me to believe that everybody missed that and then it just happened. There was a message there. And the Nazi-esque stage was quite appropriate because the Democrat Party is using Joe Biden to peddle socialism that the Squad wants, that Nancy Pelosi wants, that Pocahontas wants. This new Green Deal, all of this stuff, this is all, look, read into it. It's all socialism. So, do your homework. Research how an entire strong nation, because Germany Germany did a Build Back Better plan after World War I. And they did build back better. And they were one of the strongest, most powerful nations on the planet under socialism. Because it works that way. Russia did the same thing under communism. China under communism. If the plan, if you do things according to plan, it works for a period, for a time. But just like every other shisty, evil, deviant way of doing things, sooner or later it exposes itself and turns into crap. It's happened everywhere. We're just waiting for it to happen with China. I don't know how it's going to happen because China's pulled it off pretty well. But sooner or later they're going to fall too, because all of these socialist / communist government structures tend to fail. But that's what the left is peddling. They're peddling socialism. And socialism makes lemmings. Socialism makes sheep. And that's why they don't like us. Because what is the biggest threat to a flock out in the open? Predators, alphas, lions, wolves, all those things that we label ourselves as. Because that's our mindset. I'm an alpha predator. I do what I have to do, take what I have to take to make sure me and mine are taken care of. I'm not about everybody's equal, because everybody's not equal. My wife and I are not equal. We are not the same. We can't do the same things. We don't look at things the same. We don't evaluate things the same. We don't solve problems the same. In a lot of ways, we are completely opposite. And you know what? That's what makes a marriage. Because when I can't do something, she can. When she can't do something, hopefully I can. And so on and so forth. People aren't supposed to be equal. People aren't supposed to be the same. We're supposed to be individuals. But socialism doesn't preach individualism. The left doesn't like individualism. Even though they say, oh, everybody should be free to be who they are and what they want to be. But they skip the second half of that sentence. As long as you toe the government line. Oh, we love if you're gay. We love if you have alphabet pronouns or whatever. Until we find out you're conservative. Oh, you're gay and conservative? What the heck's wrong with you? We don't like you anymore. We love minorities. We love black people. Wait, you're a black person that voted for Trump? You're not really black. Quote unquote Joe Biden. You're free to be whoever you want to be and whatever you want to be, even if it's not real, as long as you toe the party line. Who else did that? Germany in the 30s. But they call us Nazis. I might piss somebody off for this statement, because I'm sure among the hundreds of followers I have on here that somebody's going to disagree with this statement. And I'm sorry, because this is exactly how I feel. Well, I'm not sorry. I'm sorry that you disagree with me. But in America in 2022, there are no Nazis. The Nazis were beholden to the National Socialist Party of Germany in the 30s and the 40s. This is 80 years later in America. There's no such thing as a Nazi. Know your history, folks. Start calling things the right thing. So I get pissed off and all these people call me boomers. No, my dad's a boomer. I'm Generation X. That's truth. That's reality. And you could say I act like a boomer. But I don't think so. I'm doing a Facebook Live. Boomers don't know how to do that. Unless they're filming their vegetables at the retirement center. But you left people, quit making crazy crap up. Quit making stupid terminology up that doesn't even make sense. I'm Gen X. Not a boomer. And what you're peddling is socialism. That's what the Nazis did. It won't work unless we let it. So that was the whole point of this video originally. Again, I'm rambling, but pay attention. Because we're going to have to change it. There is no realistic reason in the real world, in fact, that Christine Drazan should be losing right now. It's smoke and mirrors, folks. Sorry, I'm just watching for my family to show back up. It's smoke and mirrors. It's not real. And they can only get away with it as long as we let them. So pay attention. Watch what's happening in your state. Well, there's probably people going to be watching this that aren't from Oregon, but a lot of you are. I'm not sure what's going on up in Washington right now. I'm hoping not the same stuff. Not even sure who's running. I thought Joe Kent was, or is he just running for a seat somewhere? I'm not sure. Again, I'll look all this up later, but I'm not in Washington. I'm not even close enough to hang out in Washington anymore, so I don't really pay that much attention, but I'm kind of curious now to see what's happening up there. And stop getting distracted. Stop worrying about what Elon Musk is doing with a social media site. Who cares? Turn your damn phone off. It's that easy. Stop worrying about unimportant crap. Pay attention to the real stuff that they're trying to distract you from. And I have a feeling in the next 24 hours, we're going to see a lot of that they don't want us to look at. Pay attention. If they don't want you to see it, there's a good reason. So anyways, I don't know how long this is, but probably too long. And I want to get back to eating my dinner, my snacks. But thanks to everybody who did watch. Appreciate that. Thanks to anybody who watches later on. Hopefully I didn't drag on too long and lose everybody's interest. I keep seeing the little number pop up and down up there, so I'm probably boring some people. But this is important. I may not be the best presenter in the world, but I'm telling you stuff that you want to hear. If you want to be smart, if you want to be educated, if you want to not get stepped on, if you don't want to live the rest of your life in Oregon under the heel, under the boot of socialist dictators. Because rest assured, Kate Brown, Tina Kotek, and then get bigger with Pelosi, and then even get bigger with Joe Biden. They're all socialist dictators. They're just putting a really nice, well, they're putting a good filter lens over it so that the sheep eat it up. Don't be sheep. Be wolves. Be lions. Be alpha predators. And take care of yourself and take care of your own. That's all I got to say about that. Peace out, Patriots.